Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And back in January the 10th, I asked if you guys wanted to do a Q&A video, and if I did, what were some questions? And some of y'all asked some. Not a lot of people did, but some of y'all had more than one question. So I'm going to go ahead and start answering some of those. So if you just give me 1 second. Okay, so the first one is by Mello. Favorite supernatural season and line. That one would be when Dean says I'm Batman in season 3, episode 3, when the bad day at Blackrock, I believe it was, because he had the rabbit's foot. I think it's funny. It's cool. All right, next question. What will powers be like in fights? Oh, about Hunter Constantine. What will powers be like in fights if you use one power? Would it insta kill or no? I'm not completely sure what those are going to be like because we haven't really gotten that far into it all because we're still trying to get through the basics of everything. But we have had the discussions, and I'm thinking it's going to be. I don't know if you guys have ever played the Supernatural when the old Thip dev had it, when Pharaoh was the head dev for the game. But I'm thinking they had designed a system where, depending on, like, if you're Chuck and you're wanting to kill a human, you could snap them and take no energy. But if you wanted to kill an archangel, it would take a bit of energy to do so. And if you had multiple archangels, you could kill the stud. I gotta edit that out. You could kill Chuck. So I think that's how it's gonna look, and I think blast might be a thing to do damage. I'm not really sure. I haven't gotten that far into specifics yet, just because we're trying to get the basics started out. So by Sangrium, who is your underrated favorite in the show, and who's your favorite to use in the game? That's a good question. Well, game-wise, I love to play as Chuck, just because he's goated. In the show, I actually don't know. Not because I just feel like when I was watching, I didn't even watch the show that much. Let me start off on there. When I learned everything about the show, specifically from a YouTuber, I think it was, what's his name? What was it? Him? It was Wayward Winchester, I believe. This guy does like a ton of supernatural videos, and they're like really, really good. I learned a lot from him, and then fandom. I started reading those a lot, and that is how I figured out the show and how I figured anything out was primarily from him. So pretty sweet. But I don't really have an underrated favorite in the show. I think, I don't have characters I didn't like, and then I had characters I liked, and that was that. And then you have the next question. X rule Q. Will there be new powers, like new abilities you can do? When I was talking to Josh, he said that most of the abilities would be like what we have in the game right now, but just upgraded to a better extent. But I was talking about maybe new abilities to add to specifically for archangels and cosmics, because those are really powerful beings, but I feel like they're in the game right now. I feel like there's no real power level. I mean, either you're Lucifer and you can kill Raphael, or you're Michael and you can kill all of them, or you're Jack and you can kill all of them. So I really wanted to discuss that with him, but we've just been focused on the basics, as I said earlier. So the next few questions are from Mike. Will the ability still be one tap, or will there be a good power system like damage over time taking longer to kill something? That is correct. That is what we'll be doing. We don't want to be one tap because we feel like it kind of makes the game unfair. and just boring. I think that's one of the major problems we have now. Why did that? And I think that's why nobody really sticks around these days, is because, you know, you can't really fight back. And I think a lot of people love a good combat system. The next question from Mike again. Also, will there be Chuck Cosmics? Will Chuck/Cosmics other than Shadow take longer to kill arcs, as presented in the show's second to last episode? That is what we're planning on, yes. Follow up. Will the demons be able to communicate with each other through the blood in the bowls, basically acting as a knockoff angel radio? I don't know about demons, but I know that Josh did a sneak peek of potentially doing a I lost my train of thought. A angel radio. Okay, so the last few questions is from Sangram again. Will Famine get a wheelchair? I don't know. I don't think so. How would you have ended the Supernatural series? Well, not kill Castiel, that's for sure. I kind of feel that was kind of stupid. It's because the door is open. How would you end the Supernatural series? I don't know. I've never really given that thought. To me, I feel like changing the ending is a really complicated thing. I just know I wouldn't have killed off Castiel, just so at the end we can imply that Jack brought him back to life. Because then there's just no point. And in which case, would you kill him off for? I definitely wouldn't have killed Death. The original Death was the only good Death, and we should have kept that guy. Whoever wrote his death, I hope you're banishment. I hope you never write another thing again. How dare you? The hardest development you had or have to work on. That has been a numerous amount of things. I think the hardest thing is when you're on your own and you just have no one to develop with you. I feel like that's really time consuming. But it also takes a toll on you because you're really working on everything else, and then so it just really sticks with you. I'd prefer to work with a team of actual developers, not idiots who use AI and think they're doing something, and then it's just really bad, because you can really tell when they're using AI, because either they label everything in the code that they're working on, or they program an entire UI from a script, which is stupid because then you can't use anything else. My cats are hissing at each other. I hate cats. But the hardest development I've worked on is probably a power system such as like flight. Well, no. I know what it is. It was a global market I was working on for one of the games Josh wanted me to do, but we never released. It was like an RNG game, and it was supposed to be a global market system. But because I didn't have what I needed to really make it, I was using, because I never developed the game, I was using some like really back-end type stuff, which wasn't really working for me. And it just didn't work out as well. But I think that's the hardest I've ever had to work on. Who you hate the most in all of Supernatural Universe, and why? Spin with 600 words, type out LMA format, 12 size font, work size page. That's not going to happen. I'm not even going to do that. The character I hated the most. Give me a second now. It's in my head. Lilith. I hated Lilith. No, I mean I hated her, but like I don't know if she's my most hated. Let me think about this. Bella, maybe. Bella Talbot. I don't. Possibly. Zechariah, I think, is probably my most hated. This guy is a self-righteous git. My guy really thinks that just because he's from heaven, my guy is that guy, and he's not. Self-loaded. I don't even know how you can let that guy be an angel. Let's be honest here. But, that's all the questions I have from y'all. How long is this video? This video is like 10 minutes long, just because I keep pausing to think and stuttering. Do I need to? I'm not sure I'm gonna edit this video. No, I'm good. I knew you guys wanted a video, so I wanted to get that recorded. Since I asked like a month ago, and it's almost a month ago entirely. So, if you guys please offer more questions, you can use the comments. You can join the Discord and ask in the channel that specifically says questions for vid. You're gonna do it now. I'm not. No, you're gonna do it now. I can see some of y'all starting to come. No, you're gonna do it now. Get to it. See you guys later, and bada booyah.